Hi, welcome to the Train Shop Weekly. This is Volume 1, Number 8. This is our little weekly video podcast. I basically talk about what's new here at the Train Shop, maybe a couple tips, tricks, couple visits, this and that, whatever we can think of. I'm Bill Henning. This is my brother Harry Henning III and Walt Herbine over there.
How you doing, ladies and gentlemen? Good evening, afternoon.
Whatever it is.
Whatever it is when you watch it.
If you enjoy spending a little time with us, we appreciate it. Just hit like or subscribe, and check us out each week. We're just here to enjoy yourselves, just share trains.
So what are we covering this week? A 50th anniversary here or something?
Well, we definitely, I think we have a theme going. Oh yeah, it's basically this weekend. Yesterday is May 1st, the official 50th anniversary of Amtrak, and everybody knows I'm an Amtrak fan, so it's a good day for me. So we're kind of pulling out some Amtrak stuff that we each have, and
more or less how it's shaped our hobby a little too, and what we've collected.
Well, Walt doesn't have some Amtrak.
I don't really have it. I don't know. I might have some HO Amtrak.
Yeah, I think you might.
But I do. Amtrak is a train that I'll make. I do want eventually to get my fingers on a Amtrak GG1. Because I like my GG1s. It's one of my favorite electric engine.
Sounds good. So to start things off, we're going to take a look. Walt has the Great Wall of Herbine over there.
Yeah. This week that came into the shop is the Lionel lighted flag cars. One we're going to probably more look at in a little bit detail is, considering it is our Amtrak theme, Amtrak's. Salute to the veterans. I salute to you veterans. I have several in my family. So we got the different cars. We got Norfolk and Southern honoring veterans. It's got the lighted flag. The Norfolk and Southern 911. Kansas City Southern veterans car.
My favorite.
I'll have to say that's my favorite. 1776 USA car. Your George Bush fans, to go behind your George W. Bush engine, the 4141, you have the lighted, what do you call, UP, and you have the Union Pacific commemorative
Transcontinental
150 anniversary car, I guess.
Yep, actually that was last year.
So we have that. I have a couple other ones, but
let's take a look at one of these. We'll put it on the layout, but the flag has little holes in it, and they light up. So
and the flag's on both sides.
It's one of those cars that you see better at night than you do.
Well, let's put it on the layout and see what it looks like.
Yep.
Right. I mean, it has operating doors. Yeah, and actually you can see the inside of the box car lighted. Really nice detailed. I mean, if you guys look at it, you can kind of see the lights. Yeah, we're gonna turn the lights off for you in a minute, so you can kind of actually get a better look at it.
I think when the room lights are on, I'd say if you kind of have to look at it straight on to really notice them. You really don't notice them otherwise.
I mean, like the ladders and everything. Brake wheel, they got the little chain on it. Yeah, the cars nowadays are really getting, the detail is really getting there. Has simulated spring trucks on it and everything. Hey, Harry, you think you can kill the light for us? You can see the American flag all lit up. Or I don't think I could count that many 50 stars. Good old glory.
I think one thing that box car. I mean, this is a 60-foot scale car. I mean, one of the difference between a scale car versus a traditional car. I mean, the biggest noticeable thing is the height. A scale box car tends to be taller than a traditional box car. Yeah, so just something to take note of when you're buying freight cars, whether your trains typically use the traditional kind of a semi-scale car versus a 1/48 true scale car.
Usually the semi-scales are, a lot of people might refer to them as the 027. I hope you guys liked their little presentation on that car.
That's a nice car.
They are, man. The scale cars, and that's what kind of a lot everybody's into now. But it is. It's really detailed with the ladders. I like the fact that they're really starting to put that little chain in there to give you that really extra detail. And there was a couple other cars that kind of came in this week. As we were saying, talking about the semi-scale, or you want your traditional Lionel 027. We have
Angela Totter car.
Yep, the GG1.
With the GG1 on it.
And it's Angela Trotter Thomas. She has the
very good friend.
Yeah, she has the painting she had done. And so this was like I think part 2 of that series.
Yeah, I think we have the other one on the shelf.
Then you have the Canadian Pacific 140 year anniversary boxcar.
They've been doing a whole series of it because they had the Southern Railway. They had a couple other cars for their anniversary cars.
Yeah.
They're sharp looking. They really neat graphics on them.
Yeah, I figure that's probably next to the UP. The Canadian railroads are the only other ones that really have never changed their name.
Yeah. Really neat graphics on some of these cars that Lionel's making.
You're owned by the government, you wouldn't.
You're not owned by the government. But one thing I did learn one time about Canadian is I was doing I forget how I did it, doing research, and at the time Microsoft, can't think of his name.
Gates?
Yeah, Bill Gates owns 15% of Canadian Pacific or Canadian National, and when I was reading it, I found out the Canadian government doesn't let, I don't think it's you can't own more than 15% of a company or something like that. Or maybe it might be a foreigner, I don't know, but that was kind of a weird thing. But that was kind of interesting that he owned that. And I think at one time, not to get off the subject, but he owned the Hiawatha observation car.
Yeah.
That's true riding in luxury. That would be cool. It'd be a cool.
Especially all them windows in the back.
Oh yeah, but that'd just be cool to own a old passenger car. If you have the money.
Fortune, I believe.
Oh yeah, it'd be cool to be able to. Hey, want to go on a train ride, a trip?
Your own little private car.
On the back of an Amtrak.
So what other Amtrak stuff we got for today?
Well, anything else new?
What's this one? The camera.
Yeah, that was I want to take a look at that in a little bit. This is the Lionel's. We were talking about the camera cupola cams not too long ago. This is our the dome car. So we're going to take a look at that in a few minutes. What else? As far as was new. Woodland Scenics. We were talking about them earlier. They have the record store. It's a record store and a U.S. recruiting station.
Actually, that's a pretty cool looking building.
That is. That should be out. That should be out shortly. That's pretty sharp. And you got the back of it. I love all the detail they put on these things. Even the electrical box, the stains from the window.
Yeah. Woodland Scenics really is doing their stuff. Their buildings are.
It's nice because they took the Harrison hardware, made some really nice changes to it. And it makes a really nice looking building. And the two of those next to each other are going to look good.
Yeah, and then the other one's the diner.
The diner, Miss Molly's Diner.
Miss Molly's Diner.
Miss Molly's?
Yeah, that's going to look neat on the layout.
And once again, each of these buildings are going to be available in O scale, HO, and N gauge. So,
like to see what kind of plot they have that sitting on. Usually they have their buildings sitting on a plot.
But they're pretty neat.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
7 by 7.
Yeah, 9 by 7 about, and that's for the O scale one. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean they are. They're really. I mean their buildings are. They're probably the cream of the crop of pre-built buildings nowadays.
Yep, pretty much.
I got my day one Amtrak locomotive with me, keeping me company.
It's Lucky Charm.
Lucky Charm. I love this engine. I was so excited when they came out with that. Just what I need, another car for my Amtrak.
That thing's gonna be so long you can catch up to my Freedom Train cars.
Yep.
need a knife.
And they're all taped up.
This is the one that has the camera in it,
Yeah.
right?
Yep. So we can imagine we're riding in the dome in the top of the dome car.
Wonder if you're riding a dome car. Wonder how many people actually duck when they go into the plant just by out of mattress.
You know, when we rode back in, okay, so it was the 90s, and I rode the auto train up from Florida up to right outside of Washington, D.C. It was a blast. I spent my whole time in the dome car. And it's funny because you do see people duck when there's a tree or something, you know. But it was neat. It was a neat ride.
Yeah, I'm just wondering how many people just by that
Natural reflex.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I said. There was, you know, every once in a while you come by and there was like a tree that was low, and you just get that natural. A lot of the bridges were higher than, you know, you would think. But yeah,
Well, that's
looks
pretty well
good.
nice to do.
Nice detail.
Like some people, but
Yeah, definitely need some people there, don't it?
Yep.
come on,
Maybe-
Lionel.
Maybe a paint job on the
You know,
seats.
come on, Lionel. Just start putting people in all your passenger cars. Just charge us the extra money. Save us the headache.
This one, I think I'd take apart, paint the seats up with
Yeah, I'd probably
with that
do.
black and red seating they do in them.
Yeah.
I think that look neat. We can test this thing, or
See what it does.
yeah,
So we got a train to pull it with.
cool.
All right, so we got the car on. You can see the little camera in the front of it. So we'll go to our iPad. Now, first thing you're gonna do is on our iPad, set your Wi-Fi setting, basically to the car. So I got that. So I'll set that to the car we're using, and then I'll go to the Lionel video app. Okay, that'll come on. That's the one we want for our car. You see, there's our video feed. All right, so we're looking out the front, looking out our dome window. Walt's going to give her a ride around the track. This also has a record feature, so you can actually record your ride. Yep. Though these cameras don't have sound, so. And that's a lap around the track, looking out the dome car. All right. These camera cars I think are cool. I mean, in some ways they're a bit gimmicky, I guess, but I know we've had them at the train show, similar cars where we had a TV set up. Mm-hmm. Where we had the modules running, we had a TV set up, and people love just standing there watching the cameras.
Yeah, it's great to see them go by with
little kids are waving because they can see themselves on the TV.
Oh, you kind of get a little different perspective of a layout. Kind of gives you that realistic. Because I always want to really, I really love to put one in a dummy.
Actually, what I like you're saying,
it gives it a different perspective. It gives you some realism. I would love to do one in an engine, or like out of like the door being open. Like sometimes you see them with the door some of the engines that have like MTH has where the cab door opens,
Mm-hmm.
and the camera be looking out the cab door. I mean, just that effect, you know.
I've actually liked it as a tool for the layout, because if you remember early on when we did the layout, we'd run camera cars through the layout just to see spots that we missed.
Because you're looking at it from a different perspective.
Exactly. So we would see things that we missed, and we'd actually go back and say, oh, I gotta paint that. Like, you come to a part of an inside of a tunnel and you're like, wow, I never thought you'd see that.
The inside tunnels, you're like, look at all the wires hanging in my tunnel.
Yeah, little things you didn't think of.
But yeah, you'll see a side of a building where normally you don't notice.
But you notice a detail you missed.
Yeah, but then when you're looking for a different perspective, oh my goodness, look at that whole side of the building has no paint on it.
Yeah, but they are really neat cars. I mean, I have the caboose car, the camera caboose, the wide vision Reading caboose.
The other year they made the theater car.
Yeah, who? Somebody from the club had one of those.
Jeff Hutt got one.
Yeah, and you
I have
got
one. I have the Norfolk Southern one.
Okay.
Yeah, Jeff Hutt had his run around the layout.
Yeah, because he had the Conrail one.
Yep.
Yeah. Because I usually have it on the back of my Amtrak set. It's neat. It's neat.
Any other new things, or?
No, while we were Walt and I were playing with that, Harry was pulling out some Amtrak stuff that we had.
This is all stuff from our old train farm collection, and I thought it would be neat to see some of the toys and trains that, if it wasn't for Amtrak, we wouldn't have had them as kids, because you got to remember, kids saw Amtrak run past their houses and that, got to have it, you know, as a kid. And that's how a lot of this stuff got produced, the Metro liners.
I think that's how I started my Amtrak fascination, because I saw them. You know?
Well, you had your HO set.
Yeah, I got my HO set, my Athearn set.
I think we'll have to see that run. I think you have that here tonight.
Yeah, that's on the layout. But yeah, that was like my first. Last week you guys were talking about your first trains, and one of my first trains was my HO Amtrak set.
That you remember well.
That I remember well, yes.
The year we all got our F7s.
Yeah.
But
I had the Pensy, you had
Northern Pacific. I don't know how my dad did. I guess that's just the one he picked. But when young kids are getting into it, or even you talk to anybody that was in model railroading, they're going to model after things that they saw or what they saw growing up.
Like, what's our favorite railroad? Reading. What went through our town?
Reading. But then what are our sub railroads? We would see Amtrak out on the main corridor. We'd see Pensy when I was.
When we went down, if you went to the baseball game down in Philly, we drove past 30th Street Station. There was
still stuff in Penn Central and Pensy and Amtrak and SEPTA.
Back in the days when the GG run ran wild.
Yeah,
rolled the rails.
I remember these coming past the Philadelphia Zoo when I was a kid, and I remember them. Some of them were in the Amtrak paint, some of them were in the Black Penn Central, and some were still in the Pensy. But they were neat to see come by. And then, like the early F units, this was the O-gauge version. And then they had the set. Most people remember this set from Christmas. They got the Alco with 3 passenger cars. This was one of the biggest.
It was an 027 set.
An 027 set, and they were a big seller.
Then they got into the modern.
And they got into the modern stuff, and they started.
The Williams.
Yeah, that one's a Williams.
Mine all never did those the P42s, did they?
No. MTH and Williams did them. I just happened to get an MTH. We put TMCC in it, and we.
No, I thought you said that's.
I thought those were Williams.
Or Williams,
yeah. Williams.
But we put the TMCC in it, and this is one of our ones that when the kids come over, they always like to run an Amtrak. So, as we're getting kids involved with some of the trains, that's one of them that we use as for the kids to run around the layout.
That's the only thing that's sad, man. The engineers lost the railroad hat. These guys got hard hats, or
Yeah.
you know.
But
It made you look like a railroad man, I guess, back in the day.
and these were ones that Elliot Wentz made back in the 80s.
You make the car or just the front end?
No, he actually made the whole set. It was a 4-car set. I left 2 of the cars at home, but you had a powered unit and then you had 3 dummy units, and it would run as a 4-car set.
I would pick something like that up.
Yeah, Lionel didn't
So-
make them at the time. MTH wasn't making these, and it's way prior to the MTH. But they were neat looking. They were.
Because I think I had when I was a kid. I had the Bachman set. I had a Bachman.
That's what we saw going up the Northeast Corridor, right?
Yeah, this was part of the Bachman set. I know I have somewhere. I have the
But
head end unit, but I don't know what happened
I
to it.
have the Metro liners.
Yeah,
I think I have two of that. That was one of the things I had when we were kids.
kids. Yeah. Well, this was one of those ones from when we were younger with the HO
You
stuff.
know, because it's like the electrics. You know, what kind of
I brought some books too that are good references for some of the
actually, the
Amtrak
really
stuff.
cool thing is going through looking today. I left it open.
That's a
the
great
passenger chain journal. It actually, Bill will get a picture of it a little bit closer up a little later. It's got a Bill, one of like the Penn Central E8s, and it's 4290, and I guess it's supposedly number 66, and it says somebody painted on the side, "Just fade away with Amtrak." I think that's kind of cool.
I'm not painting that on my engine.
But that would be kind of cool to someone to model that. You know.
Oh yeah, somebody will.
But considering it is Amtrak birthday, so we kind of figured
Yeah,
let's
and
do
these are
some Amtrak, or salute to Amtrak.
some past books from the past.
This one's still available. These are still available.
Yeah, I believe they're still available, but they're ones that I had gotten for my own reference library and so forth. So they're good ones to look into.
They're good books. I have them all.
I think we have some of these different ones here at the shop, different
I think
series
there's
of
I
them.
think there's an
Different
Amtrak
road
book over there or
names, yeah.
something.
But they're good books.
Oh, we got a couple of young little kids that come in here. They went Amtrak. They're Amtrackers. He wants an Amtrak train. But yeah, I mean, and I guess what they're going to do, that sounds like the government's going to fund some a little bit more money and try to expand the passenger train.
I hope so. I'm hoping to take a ride later in the fall. Might take an auto train ride down.
The
down
Excella is awesome.
What, the new one?
No, even the old one. I haven't got to ride the new one, but I got to ride the old one.
Nobody's ride the new one yet, really.
Well, I took a ride from Philadelphia to New York just to be able to say I was on it, and that's neat. They're fast.
I rode Amtrak once up to Vermont. That was interesting going from. That was like from here to New York. It was like standing room only.
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, yeah, we actually were They didn't have a seat. It was so full. We were sitting on our luggage, like in the little corner, like with about 30 other people. Until we got to New York, Penn Station, and everybody.
This is my big Amtrak station. Look at that sucker.
The Ammo Shack.
The Am Shack.
Amtrak.
The Am Shack. I know I made this a number of years ago, but I mean, that cracks me up. It's funny because I've seen real ones like this. I've seen them on the rail, and it's just it's a little shack. People didn't like them, but at the time, I guess it was cheap for Amtrak to put in a
Yeah, and keep you out of the rain.
Keeps you out of the rain, yeah.
Keeps you out of the elements.
Well, that's what our one module is on the layout, that 28-footer that we have.
Yeah, that's a big Amtrak station.
That is a big Amtrak station. We've had a lot of fun with that station. Actually, I think that was on one of Sean's videos last week.
Yeah, it was.
But what else we got? I think that's about it for the night.
One thing I wanted to share was, hang on. You have to pause it for a second. Yeah, one last thing I wanted to share is I gotten an email from a gentleman, and I wanted to share it with. It's actually pretty inspirational. Says, greetings, gentlemen. My name is Anthony Bowie, and I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. I saw your train reviews on YouTube and have enjoyed watching them. I started collecting O-gauge trains when I was 10 years old. Over the years, my collection grew, as well as other abilities with model railroading. I scratch-built my buildings and modified most of them to look and feel more realistic. About 20 years ago, I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis due to a work injury. In MS, resulting nerve damage disrupts communication between the brain and the body. Multiple sclerosis causes many different symptoms, including vision loss, pain, fatigue, and impaired coordination. I was unable to work anymore and was forced to sell my collection of O-gauge trains to make ends meet. But I never gave up the hobby completely. I got tired of sitting on the couch, watching TV all day long. So I used my knowledge and was able to continue with the hobby by continuing to build and paint models. I found this way it was easier for me to relax and not feel my symptoms of my disease as much. At one point, I had so many buildings that I was giving them away. Each of these buildings has a personality of their very own, and no building are exactly the same. I would go to train shows and hobby stores with my wife to sell them. I refused no offer because I never priced my models. Being pain-free without the need of heavy medication was enough for me. Also, I enjoyed the look on the modeler's face of finding the perfect building that would look epic on their train layout. I made model buildings of places and businesses that had gone out of business, or places people would remember long ago. I would also look for dealers' tables to find broken, damaged, or buildings that were incomplete with missing parts. I would use the windows and doors for my own design buildings. I like to use Plasticville windows and doors. Due to COVID, I was unable to find any loose pieces of buildings to add to my parts bins or sell any of my buildings for the train show season. Many of the hobby shops in Cleveland have closed their doors forever. That makes me sad because so many generations have enjoyed the hobby. The hobby brought out the creativeness and the imagination of young children. But I also have a way of cast molding my own bricks to build almost anything that I could imagine. I have built castles, homes, warehouses, and so much more with these bricks. I have used other materials as well with my designs. I'm sending you a couple buildings. I'm not looking for anything for these buildings, but they will look great for a trackside warehouse. All I ask in return is that they go to a good home or a place where people can enjoy them. I am also including a few of my bricks so you can see how I build these buildings. I do not normally sell these bricks because it takes a long time and a lot of effort to cast them, but I can share a web link where you can purchase the molds so that anyone could cast them. I would also like to ask, would you please continue making your train videos? Well, that's nice.
Yeah, we will. That's for sure.
They are very informative and enjoyable to watch. I did not include any road names on these buildings. I thought it might be easier for the customer to place their own. There are many die-hard fans of certain railroads. Anyway, they can make them look any way they want. It's easier to sell it that way. Nobody is offended in any way. Please feel free to contact me directly if you have any questions or concerns about the buildings. Thank you very much for your time, and please enjoy the buildings. Anthony Bowie.
Anthony, we want to thank you for sending the buildings.
Well,
I was really impressed, and I'm saying this from somebody that does a lot of models and a lot of buildings.
Well, it started by Anthony sent me this building and another building similar. Yeah, you can see
Yeah,
he started with Plasticville base, freight station. Then he added it. Yeah, these are little bricks that he makes. Yeah, and
I was looking at those when they came in, I guess, 2 weeks ago or so,
Yeah, a couple
before I
weeks
left
ago.
on vacation.
Yeah, and then he had reached out to me. I keep talking about building my brewery layout, so he said, "Hey,
And I
Bill,"
think that's fantastic.
well, he said, "Bill, I'd love to build a brewery building for you. What size do you need?" Like, I don't know what size I need. But I knew I wanted a building to kind of go along the back side of the module. Yeah, so I gave him, I don't know, like a couple feet long, maybe
it's a sharp building.
maybe
well.
4 to 6 inches wide, you know, and it's like, I swear, within days he's telling me, "Oh, I sent you something."
I think this will look nice on the new layout when we do the addition.
Yeah, well, this is definitely going in my brewery project.
I mean,
Exactly.
it is. It's very well detailed. I mean, and all of you out there who do the buildings and details, the time it puts into it.
I know the time because I do a lot of buildings.
Oh yes.
And like I'm working on now, I'm working on the gas station that I'm building. To me, it's relaxing, and I can relate with him being sick and that it takes your mind off of your illness, and it has for me. And I have hundreds and hundreds of kits myself to build. Eventually, I'll get to them, but like I can see Anthony's enjoying it, and that's what I do. I enjoy it. I enjoy doing the little detail, you know, and so forth.
I haven't got into buildings yet. I'm into building mountains.
But you were always into painting freight cars, painting engines, and doing the super detail on that. Whereas myself, I've always liked buildings. Yeah. I like architecture. I will go out and take pictures of architecture. Like when I built the
Beinhacker building, the
Beinhacker building, I did research on that. But like when I did the drugstore for up on the layout, I wanted a V-shaped building, and there's a few that I found pictures of as we went out and we looked at the buildings. There was a couple in New York, a couple in Philadelphia, one in Phoenixville, and they gave me general ideas of what I wanted to do.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because you guys you kind of are right. I always liked more of doing the mountains and stuff like that, and now helping a couple people build layouts and everything, and getting it back into that groove. Because soon I haven't quite the one guy's layout I'm help building. I quite ain't ready to show. I showed some of the.
I'm waiting,
on
man.
Rick's,
We're waiting.
On Rick's layout.
Yep. We were at the point where I'm helping him, and he's watching me. I'm showing him. I'll do a little bit, then I'm like, okay, now here's your part. You do the rest.
What I've seen looks good so far that you've done.
We did this past weekend. I showed the pictures of the basic shape of the mountain. I haven't really showed anything yet.
Does it have color now?
It's just starting to have color. We did the one thing I did color.
I used up all them rock molds we had.
Yeah. And that used I did a lot of sculptor molding too, because I couldn't use the molds, and that's what we used when I was a kid. I'm getting back into that feel of getting them rocks. So I did it. We painted the one. I painted part of it. I showed him how to put add the green the grass effect to it. And I said, well, okay, here's your part. You do the painting, add your color. And he goes, well, I'm more nervous about it. I said, don't worry. If you don't like it, you know what you get to do? You get to paint over it and start all over again.
Right.
You know, just keep what you call. And he goes, and like he said, that makes it look so simple. I mean, next week I gotta dig up my concrete. I gotta paint some of the tunnel portals on the one mountain. So
I have a couple jars at the house yet.
So in the next couple weeks, I'll probably post some pictures of it.
Good, yeah, I'm anxious to see. But
I have that Home Depot code for the concrete.
Right. Well, I really wanted to share this. I mean, it was.
But don't you have a couple more buildings he did?
Yeah. I'll show a couple pictures of the other buildings. I'll make them available if somebody. I don't know. Maybe we should auction some of them off and have all the proceeds go to Anthony. Because
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, especially and because I believe one of them's Plasticville.
And a couple more Plasticville. He has the one house. There's a house. I'll show that right here. It's like an old weather-beaten house. It looks like it had a fire because there's a hole in the roof, and you can see the rafters sticking out. Yeah, so maybe we'll put that on auction.
That's a prime building to show people who are starting in the hobby. Plasticville buildings are very cheap. You get them and just add a little detail and some paint to it.
A little creativity goes a long way.
When I first saw the building, I was like, Plastic wheel?
Yeah.
You know,
So it's a very inspirational story. So big kudos to Anthony, and thank you,
Yes.
Anthony.
yes,
Very
Well
much
done.
appreciated.
On that note, we can finish on a high note, a good note. So
We do got one other thing.
do you?
We got Brian's Train Pops engine that we're going to raffle off. We're going to give that away on September 12th. We are actually going to do a run for fun this year. We will get into a little more of that coming down the road. But that's the day that Brian really enjoyed our runs for fun. I wouldn't have had him if he didn't push me into doing them, and it was one of his favorite things. He was always like to be around.
So I guess we can
with
do
us.
it like you can sign up for a time. Maybe we'll break it down into to 1 hour increments, something like that, and make little windows up to so many people per hour. You can
Exactly.
sign up for, but that'd be a good idea.
and hopefully maybe things will ease up a little bit more.
And we have, I think, as far as running, you know, you and me, we worked
you're gonna
on
make
this
it
new
really,
yard.
Yeah, you're
Now you gotta
really
get it
gonna
finished.
have me working over there now.
You gotta get it finished and you get it back running.
Well,
now.
we're close to finishing the freight yard.
Yeah, we probably got maybe another couple Monday nights.
You
I've
got
been
all
working
summer.
on
You
it
got
at
all
night,
summer
too.
to get it done.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? All summer, next thing you know, all of a sudden, you know, 3 months, 4 months from now, all of a sudden, boom, it's here.
Yep. That's
You
how
know,
it usually
That's
goes.
how it goes.
Because there's still, I mean, you got to figure that hasn't been ran in months. We haven't
No, we haven't run it in over a year.
Needs a lot of
Yeah,
work.
maybe not quite a year.
We'll get
Well,
there.
Close.
close to a year.
We'll get there. We
But
gotta
then we
finish
got new things to put in, and I think some of those would be nice to.
Yeah, we just got some crazy ideals,
it. All right.
like usual.
Let's get out of here.
All right.
Where's your whistle?
I'm looking for the whistle.
Harry likes it. All right. Good night.
All right,
All right,
guys.
thanks for joining us. See y'all next week. Have a good week and take care.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
All right.
That is an awesome looking building.
It is.
It is very well. Very well.
Couldn't say enough about it, to be honest.